as a captain of the West Indies team, it's not like India or England or Australia. You were captaining different islands with different attitudes and so on. Being a West Indian, it's not like being an Englishman or Pakistani. You're one country. We're several nations. And you had to bring that team together. And you had to work very hard because trust was important. If they didn't trust you, they were never going to run through walls for you. So
they say, Kauleza mama, which simply means, hurry mama, please don't let them catch you. Kauleza mama, Kauleza mama, Kauleza mama, Kauleza mama, Kauleza mama, Sheshiza wo. Na kaupais azungeni mama pati Kauleza mama.
I would still like to submit the Essequibo River as a candidate for knighthood. How can photographs alone describe a river that flows more than 500 miles from the Roopnaraine Mountains on our southern border to the Atlantic Ocean, creating hundreds of islands along the way, three of which, Leguan, Wakenham and Hog Island, are larger than some of the island nations of the Caribbean.
Part of my despair, if it can be called that, about our present situation is that I have felt for some time now that I'm not sure that we have within the borders of Guyana any longer the critical mass that is required to bring about certain kinds of transformation.
No excuse. Reduce, reduce. Lie store to the core. How you came, leave the same. The enemy is clutter.
After the Second World War, West Indians were recruited to Britain to help rebuild its fabric, to work in hospitals, factories, and railway and bus depots, including Yesu Prasad, who worked for British Rail, carting luggage here and there.
The shining sun is hidden. Red flowers bend their heads in awful sorrow. This is a dark time, my love. It is a season of oppression, dark metal and tears. It's a festival of guns.
And one of the things that I think she has left us with is a vision that really transcends parochialism, which I think is one of the most deadly viruses that really infects us across the Caribbean today. To reduce Jessica to any one of these moments, to reduce her to her PPP days, or to reduce her to her support for Walter Rodney, or to reduce her to her involvement with Caribbean parents, or to reduce her to her involvement in the bookstore, is to do an absolute injustice to the entirety of this woman.
There was such a mass of people. There was so much joy. We stood in the sun for hours, sweat-soaked, hungry, happy. A gust of rain came. We exulted.
I'm a huge fan of, there's an Indian filmmaker, his name is Sajid Ray, and he made films in the 1950s, and they were all based in India, in his town, right? And he just made films about, kids growing up in their villages in India. And he sort of put India on the world map by showing just his slice of life.